All right, welcome back, folks. Let's go to our next story. Now, a successful negotiation is not about getting to say yes. It is more about mastering no and understanding what the path to an agreement is. And so, after a number of fits and starts, President Bola Tinubu and state governors agreed to establish the state police in my country, your country. The idea is to check the rising wave of insecurity in the country, and now of the 6 major decisions taken at the meeting with the governors, the number one citizen directed that state governments should collaborate with the federal government to increase food production while shunning the idea of food importation, when local food producers should be encouraged to produce more food. So let's share the story by TVC News' Femi Akonde. Yes, good day, Femi. We're with you.
The meeting between President Bola Tinubu and the 36 state governors ended with critical resolutions that will provide solutions in the interim and in the future. The food crisis has piled pressure on governments at all levels and also threatens national security. Among several solutions thrown at ensuring food security, the federal government insists there are no plans to import food, as Nigeria has the potential to feed itself.
The governors and Mr. President have taken this decision that security agencies will cooperate or collaborate with the state governors to ensure that this ends. Number two, a decision has also been taken that in the interest of our country, there will be no need for food importation at this point. Nigeria has the potential to feed itself and even be a next exporter of food items to other countries.
In considering a holistic approach to implementing the state of emergency declared in the agriculture sector by President Bola Tinubu in the early days of his administration, there seems to be a consensus on the need to establish state police and enhance the capacity of forest rangers to complement the efforts of conventional security agencies.
They have thanked Mr. President for all that he's doing, and they've also asked him to do more so that at the end of the day, we will have a completely secured Nigeria. Now, in this direction, Mr. President and the state governors have also discussed the possibility of improving the numeric strength of forest rangers. Now, there is also a discussion around the issue of state police. The federal government and the state governments are mulling the possibility of setting up state police.
As the days begin to count, the federal government must also double its efforts at ensuring food is available and affordable. It also must continue to guarantee the safety of lives and property. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
All right, welcome back. They say when men and mountains meet, great things are done.
Great things happen.
Yeah.
I'm happy that some of the issues that we've always raised here came up during that meeting. And yes, we won't begin to see the impact of the decisions reached immediately, but there has to be serious commitment to implementing the decisions that they've reached. We can have state police if everyone applies himself to making it happen. Yes, the Constitution recognizes only one police, you know, but the Constitution has to be amended. Some of us opposed the idea of state police for years, but we have reached that point now in our history when we can no longer say we do not want state police. The central policing structure has not delivered the goods. Again, we do not even have enough policemen. We do not have enough policemen. It's one of the reasons you cannot police the forest, for example, because we don't have enough men to do that. We don't have enough soldiers. We don't have enough policemen. Some of the armies in Africa, like Algeria, for example, they have hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Yes, you could say, okay, years of war and all that, pushed Egypt and Algeria to take defense that seriously. But yes, for many years, our neighbors were very peaceful and all that. But now we have to contend with war within our borders.
On the inside.
Within our borders. And what this has told us is that we have to increase the number of our security forces and then allow for community policing and state policing.
Yeah.
We have no choice. Forest rangers, they do the job of the police in the forest. Our forests have been left unattended for many years. Look, Sambisa was a forest reserve, left unattended for years. Boko Haram came and began to put it to use. That was where the Abacha's BGs and the strike force were being trained.
That's bodyguards and so on.
Yes, they call them strike force and BG.
Yeah.
That was where they were trained. But today is the natural habitation for Boko Haram. When you mention Sambisa, everybody remembers Boko Haram.
Boko Haram, yeah.
We have to police our forests. The president, in his renewed hope document, in his manifesto, talked about forest rangers as people that will be used to protect the forest. This is the time for the president to ensure full implementation of a promise that he made to Nigerians. Whether in Plateau or in Taraba, we need forest rangers to man our forests. That's the only way that we can stop those frequent attacks on villages, because it's from the forest that they move in.
That's
attack our people. Go to Benue State. There are not less than 10 IDP camps in Benue State because criminal headsmen have been killing people in their villages. So
at will.
At will, even in Zone C of Benue, the Agatu area, upper people, they've been killing people. The criminal headsmen have been killing people. But if we police these forests, we train the forest rangers, we arm them sufficiently, they will be able to stand up to these guys. So I want them to take the issue of forest rangers seriously. Mr. President, if that is what he can do for us in the area of security, we'll be very happy, because they will not just help us protect our people, they will also protect farmers. In Borno State, they got them to protect farmers. So farmers are working on their feet. You see armed men, made up largely of civil defense corps. They are protecting them. We need to protect our people. We can't watch our people being killed by non-state actors the way it's happening.
Yeah.
Because it also has some connection even with food production.
Oh, yeah. Largely.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if you cannot access your farm, how do you produce? This is the dilemma. I'm telling you that in Katsina State, for example, district heads have fled their villages. They are now in the state capital. It's the same thing that has happened in Borno State. District heads can't stay in their villages anymore because they know they will be killed.
Yeah.
So these boys now believe that, okay, they rule the forest. Where is Dogo Gide, for example? He's hiding in a forest somewhere. Where is Bello Tuji? He's hiding in a forest somewhere. Where is Kachala? He's hiding in a forest somewhere.
These are kingpins.
These are bandit kingpins, billionaire bandits, because bandits who can organize to kidnap a good number of people and collecting 100,000 on each person. They are billionaires already. Okay. That's why Dogo Gide had the guts to be asking for 700 million naira in one operation. And when they told him, but this is too high, he said, do the governors not have access to much more than that? And they said, but you are not a governor. He said, but I'm a governor of the forest. I mean, it sounded funny listening to him. But this is where we found ourselves.
We need to call the
governors have to come together. You see, that meeting with the president was long overdue. We as journalists, we were saying, look, these people, they can do much more than they are doing. And that's why I'm happy that the governor of Ogun State rolled out all of those things that he said he would do. Now we have to be on his coattails to ensure that the promises made to our people are fulfilled. He has to do that. And he does that, people will remember his time. And we are waiting for others to also help ease this pain. We are not saying, oh, do it on a permanent basis, but try to, let's even see you ease the pain. A lot of money now comes to these governors from the subsidy that the president stopped. But it's the president that people are swearing for now. Governors are benefiting from the subsidy. Some are taking 3 times what they usually would take. People are not cursing them. It is one man that every man they are cursing. They believe that he's a juju man. That once he comes into office, miracles start.
You don't blame them. Mr. President is a team captain.
He's a team captain, but if we all imagine, because he's a team captain, then we expect him to do the miracles while people leave their own jobs undone. If I sit here and I say, yes, I'm in charge of current affairs here, and other people who support me do not do their work, programs will fail. As we sit here, some people are in one small room, ensuring that things work. If they are not there, maybe your audio, you won't even hear, they won't hear you at home. They won't hear you at home. So this is what we are saying. It is a symbiotic relationship. They all need to work together. Believing that, because somebody is the president, he has the answer to all the problems is foolhardy. The governors must play their role in their state.
Because they are parts of a whole.
Yes, that is the point that we are making. Look at the game of football. There are 3 departments. You have the attack, you have the midfield, you have the defense. They all must complement one another. They don't have to be the best players in the world. But once they complement one another, then you are talking about a good team. That's the way it should be.
But one of the 6 major decisions reached at the meeting between number 1 and the governors is no food importation. It makes me, it tells me on the inside, we can do it. We can do without food importation.
Yes,
what do you think?
Because food importation is a lazy way out. It's a very, very lazy way out. And beyond that, the president also emphasized that there will be no price control board. I mean, he said those 2 things together. And while saying there will be no food importation, he said there are some quick wins that we need to take into consideration, like supporting farmers with the release of fertilizer, grains, to assist them with farming. But there is also the issue of security, which we need to tackle, because without security in those farming belts, the food baskets of the nation,
all will be
useless. Because in a situation where a farmer goes to his farm, and when it's time for harvest and the bandits come and tell him to be paying a ransom or even drives them away, it becomes a critical issue. And that's why I'll go back to the issue of state police, which is quite commendable, and it's something that they should start now, because it is something that when they start today, it might take 1.5 years to materialize, because the there's a section of the Constitution, which item 45, part 1 of the second schedule of the 1999 Constitution vests the power for state policing for policing exclusively on the federal government. That's the management, control, and funding of police, which will be known as the Nigerian Police Force. So before this could be changed, the National Council of States will need the support of the National Assembly, and that is at least 2/3 of the Senate and 2/3 of the House of Reps, which is 72 and 240 members. And beyond that, they also need to take it to the state level. They will need the concurrence of 24 states,
36.
Or 24, yeah, which is 2/3 houses of
Assembly. The FCT too.
And of the FCT, of course, of the Parliament of the FCT. So to be able to change the constitution to allow for a state police. So this is a long journey, is a marathon that we need to start now. It's not a quick fix. It's not a 100-meter.
It's not a dash.
Yeah, it's not a dash. So we need to start it. But before we get to that, there are some other things that the president can do, which happened in Ekiti. When those KBACs were killed by those marauders in Ekiti, and some pupils were kidnapped, the Ekiti State governor went to the president, to give him a situation report, and also met with the service chiefs. Today, there is a detachment of the military that has been posted to Ekiti, combing all the forests. This should not be limited to Ekiti alone.
Yeah.
All other states in the country should have this kind of intervention to prevent that. We should not wait until monarchs are killed, or even, the life of every Nigerian matters, not the life of KBACs alone. So we should not wait till things like this happen before we move into action. So this is going to be like a chain reaction. When we have security, that's when we can ensure food security, because there is no point having the farmlands and people are afraid to go there because of the fear of being kidnapped by bandits. So all these things work together. And we should also commend the management of the economy, because bigger economies are going into recession. The Japanese economy has gone to recession. The UK economy just went to recession yesterday. So, and how do this happen? The moment you cannot, your gross domestic product, you can't grow it positively for 2 consecutive quarters, you go into recession.
Yeah.
But in our own case, we are still able to manage, which means we are still trying, but people are groaning. People are hungry. We need to do something. They should release more grains. The governors should do more. We keep saying it. The governors
because they can.
More because they can.
They can.
The president released 5 billion naira each to all the states, and out of which I think they have been mobilized with 2 billion. And apart from that, they are having an increase in exchange rate. The difference between the exchange rates, they are getting some money from there. They are getting some money from VAT. All this has increased. They are also getting money from the removal of subsidy. So all these monies cumulatively go to states and the local governments. They should push some of these monies out, as we have seen in some states.
I think also that the governors should double up their efforts in stopping people from needlessly hoarding food. People need to have access to food to buy, but some people are hoarding these things. I appreciate the decision that the governor of Niger State took. Some people may come to the conclusion that it was crazy, but you can't be moving out of Niger with truckloads of food that the people...
But these are crazy times.
So you can't be... And a lot of the food being moved in trucks actually being moved out of this country. I've spoken about this before, that I went to the Northeast and I saw them taking truckloads
Out.
of food across the border. You come and then say, oh, we don't have enough grains in our country, corn or maize. Maize is too expensive and killing poultry business. But we cannot continue to stop, our people from having access to these things. But this is the point that we are making. Stop those people who are hoarding food so that our people can find the food to buy. So the governor of Niger State, I commend him because it is in his state that these demonstrations began. So he has to find a way to solve the problem.
All right.
Not that he will just sit back and watch people starve to death. So they need to do something along that line. They must do their best to bring food prices down.
Yeah, because
these food prices are unreal. People,
artificial.
Yes, people increasing food prices because of the dollar. A lot of this is ridiculous. Even things that have nothing to do. Look at cement, for example. Cement, the bulk of the raw materials that
limestone, we have it here.
Gypsum, limestone, the main raw materials.
Sorry, let's reach out to Henry. Henry is reaching us from Port Harcourt. Henry, good evening. Welcome. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, all.
Let's go.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Babajide. Good evening, sir. Please, this is very worrisome, and I really appreciate the fact that you people always hitting on this to see that there's a solution. But like today, my friend just told me now that a bag of cement is selling for 10,000 naira. So we have the problems from different angles, and we're just confused where the solution is going to come out from. But one of the things I had a discussion with a friend was, okay, in the previous administration, for instance, you have a Minister of State for Petroleum who said they were going to borrow $1.5 billion to fix the refineries. Till today, we don't know what is made of those things. We talk about in power. In the previous administration, they talk about cement and everything, and all that. It didn't start with this government, even though it's an APC party and all that. The rot is so bad, sir, and it's making us scared where we're heading to, sir. That's just my concern.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you.
It's really a very valid point. Some people have made up their minds, including some of my friends on social media. When people talk about the need for us to do a tie back in trying to appreciate where we found ourselves, they don't even want you to go there. They want the world to believe that the problem just started in June 2023. I mean, it's ridiculous. Because if some of these issues, look at insecurity, for example, if some of these issues were addressed frontally, the incoming administration, the new administration wouldn't have inherited it. So this is the thing. When people talk about subsidy, oh, he shouldn't have touched subsidy, they fail to realize that at a point we were even taking loans to pay for subsidy. So which country can survive on that?
Is it sustainable?
Already debt servicing outstripped what we were generating. Debt service, what we were spending
I know.
And then we made up our minds to even borrow money to service debt. Abi Mojid.
Which is
we are going to borrow money to service debt. When you borrow money to service debt, will the debt ever go? So some people don't know the extent of the problem we face. When we were lied to that we had 33 billion in foreign reserve, it took JP Morgan to let us know that, you people have been lied to. You don't have more than 3.3 billion left. Many Nigerians don't know these things. So if we even wanted to defend the dollar, Emefiele defended the dollar with $11 billion in 7 months. Defended our currency with $11 billion in 7 months. Even if you wanted to do that, the money was no longer there. The buffers that we had during the Jonathan era, those buffers are gone. So
I
these
remember
are issues.
when state governors went to former President Jonathan.
Let's share the money.
Share the money.
Extra, you know, the Constitution, the framers of the Constitution never imagined that Nigeria should save money. What is in the Constitution is all the monies that should be shared. They never said, okay, let's begin to save
for a rainy day.
No, no such thing in the Constitution. And that was where Rotimi Amechi and others who went to confront the president that, look, we must share this money.
Yeah.
That was what they said. You know, they went all the way to Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they were saying, that the Constitution says we must share. It didn't say we should save.
All right. Jamie, one last
and that's why I still commend what this administration is doing. Imagine a situation where under a CBN governor, the signature of a president and the secretary of the government, they took $6.2 million cash from the vote of the CBN under Emefiele to pay election observers. Is it the duty of the CBN to pay election observers? What's the role of INEC?
Have you also forgotten the revelation from the auditor that monies recovered by the EFCC
gone,
that they cannot trace?
They can't trace it in CBN under Emefiele.
All of the money that the EFCC...
And we are here...
Gentlemen, we must go. Time is a master here. Majid Jamiu, many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones, and thanks, Nigerians.
Yeah, Biko, many thanks for your time, too.
Many thanks.
That will just about do it. If you missed any part of this show, join us later tonight at 11. But don't forget, on Sunday, we expand the field for you from 1:30 to 3:30. Also, just to inform you, we are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.